All right, we'd like to welcome each and every individual to Voices of Integrity podcast, and today we're going to do a an example of kind of vision casting from the owner, from a leader, and it's connected back into the ART tree, which is the Atomic Ripple Reaction tree for Oak Grove Tax Services, and John Miller and Mary Miller, and so it was interesting when I reflect back a few years when John and I were talking. And he had this amazing vision. So just to give a little context, so for over 30 years, I've worked with CPAs and owners of accounting firms. And if you ask most CPAs, owners of accounting firms, if you ask them, do you want to grow your business? Do you want more business? Most of them will go and they'll pause and they'll be like, maybe not. And John was different, like very, he stood out, and he wants to grow his accounting firm, his bookkeeping firm. He wants to do that. And it was interesting. So why is it that a CPA an owner of accounting firm wouldn't want to grow their business, their practice? And I think what I've determined is um and I'm working on my tact, so I'm sure all of you will say, Mark, you're really tactful. It's like often business owners can fall into the trap of thinking like employees. And the difference between an owner and an employee is often where the employee kind of doesn't want the business to grow. What I mean by that is I mean that they see that when a business grows, they often get more work and they don't make more money. Now, John, he's innovative and his firm is really innovative in what they do. And so his team members are different than, most team members of accounting firms. Like Jemima and Homer, it was fascinating in one of the Action Vision team podcasts that we did. I asked them 1 to 10, how much would you like to be pushed? And they both said 12. And it was just, so their mindset is different. They're not normal like employees. They have like an ownership mindset. And that says a whole lot, not only about them, but about John as a leader too. And so, best-selling book of all time says, without a vision, the people perish. And so, so John, your vision for your company, I don't remember the specific words, but I remember the energy that surrounds it. And it's not just doing taxes, and it's not just doing bookkeeping. It goes far beyond that. And so John's put together some amazing books that are helping to reach out all around the country and building tools. And so that's one of his like legs, one of the profit centers, one of the areas that grow other areas. John, what are some of the other things that you want to do, like for you and for your company and for your firm? And like, what are some of the things you want to do, John?
I would like to create a system where we can go and franchise it, where anybody can buy into it, and if they follow the rules, they will be successful.
So one of so what John just said, if you said, "Oh, that's nice, that's interesting," it's more than nice, it's more than interesting, it's absolutely brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. So 20 plus years ago, I met Tom Kuntz, who's the most recent past president of Century 21. So largest real estate franchise in the world. And And so over 140,000 agents, 140,000 agents in over 70 different countries. And it's fascinating because he said most people think of Century 21 that we are a real estate company. He said we're not. He said we're a franchise company. And so what I learned, so Tom Coons, he helped raise over $100 million for Easter Seals. He and I co-authored a book, Community Business Partnerships. And so he helped me understand the difference between a brand franchise and a formatted franchise. So a brand franchise is what most real estate franchises are. And a brand franchise is you have some rules, but by and large, you have minimal rules. And you have to do certain things, but by and large, you're buying the brand. A formatted franchise, there's not nearly as many of those, maybe 10 or 100 to 1. So an example of a formatted franchise is going to be McDonald's, where I don't know what the price is now, but let's say $500,000 just to get where you can put the golden arches up, just to do that. And so in the formatted franchise, and I think you have to have 3 million in liquid cash plus 500,000 you put up. So you'd think, if you have $500,000 laying around, well, $500,000 you give to them and 3 million laying around, you'd think that's a pretty smart person, right? Like that's a pretty smart person. But they don't even trust you. McDonald's doesn't even trust you to know how much salt to put on the French fries. You can't put on, like I just spent $500,000. I just put $500,000 into you. I think I should be able to, put how much salt I want to put on the French fry. You can't. So I worked in 2 McDonald's when I was in high school at the same time. Fascinating experience. What was fascinating about it, Mark? Thanks for asking. So one was a franchise, a location that was owned by the company, and the other is something that was owned by an individual, and he owned 5 McDonald's. And which restaurant was run better? The one that was owned by the company, McDonald's. So I think they owned maybe less than 10% of the restaurants around the world. McDonald's as a company owns those. All the others are owned by franchise owners. And so Nora and I meet on Thursdays. Ooh, this would be fascinating for you guys. If you want another podcast, Thursdays at 6:30, we have a virtual coffee connection. And there's a woman on there and she wants to franchise. And fascinating. So a formatted franchise is what John's talking about. We're going to tell you what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and do it with a great attitude. We're going to do that. And so a formatted franchise is infinitely harder to build than a brand franchise. Because what you're doing is you're telling people that are smart people what to do, and you have to do it this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. This is how you do it. And most smart people, if you start your own business, you have a 97% chance of failing within 7 years. Franchises, you have I don't know what it is, a 98, 99% chance of success or something. It's very, very high. And so a formatted franchise is you tell people what to do, when to do it, how to do it. You tell them great attitude. But it's got to work. Like Tom Coons says, trust the integrity of the system. So there's another great book out there. It's called System Busters. And I would encourage you, there's another one out there called Flawless Execution by James Murphy. Those are 2 books that I would encourage you not only to read, but to go ahead and not only to read, but to go ahead and manage up and out. What did I learn? What action am I going to take from what I learned? And what do I need to learn next? And go through it with other people. And so, John, so that vision is just massive. I mean, just massive. It's unbelievable. The amount of work, the amount of sacrifice, the amount of risk that's taken to do that. And the benefit for each team member is massive. But what is their vision for their own life, for their own career? And that's what the art tree helps to connect into, is how do you connect all your visions together? How do we bring all of John's team into one? They call it the power of one. How do we bring it all together into that? Now, John, in addition to that, you have, I think, a vision for even more companies, correct?
Yeah, there's some other things I would like to do.
Did you want to share any of those?
Couple of the things. One of the things I enjoy is, and you can ask my wife. That's antiques. I'd
Ooh.
love to go to auctions and buy antiques and sell them again for a profit.
Right?
And I
And
also enjoy coins.
see, and so people like like people don't see the connection between those two. But there is. There's a tremendous connection. And so Tom Kuhn said, he said, I believe that everything that we've put in our heart, everything God's put in our hearts to do. Ooh, Nora, I don't think that one is on the list for Tom. And so again, I would ask Nora for the podcast with Tom Coons that she and I did together just a few weeks ago. So Tom said, he believes everything that God's put in our heart to do, we have the capability of doing. And when he told me that, I don't know, probably 18 years ago. And I said, wow, I have a lot in my heart. And I said, that's really, really cool. And so what's fascinating about those two pieces, is those two pieces can actually help John build the accounting business. And the accounting business and bookkeeping business can help build those other two. Anything else, John, that you have passions about?
I don't think of any right now.
So one of the other things I think that John had mentioned, but maybe I'm mistaken, but I think he had mentioned is maybe real estate.
Yeah, I'd like to invest in some real estate.
Okay, copy that. So, so all of those things can help John's business, and John's business, his primary business, the bread and butter, what he's got now, all of those things, but learning how to do the combination principle. How do you combine those things together? Into something absolutely magical. Anybody have any? So if you're on John's team, so here's this. So this is what you can do as a team. You can go ahead and draw a circle, and just put like a piece of paper on the wall, big old piece of paper on the wall, and then draw a circle, and then have all the employees, all the team members list around that circle what they want the company to represent. And so Linda is just joining a company. So Linda could take this initiative, and next time she's in the office, she could put a big old piece of paper on the wall. She could draw a circle around it, and she could say, this is what I'm passionate about in serving our customers. And then other people can add to it. And so other people can add to it, and other people. So what you do is you get people involved. Like what is what is the vision for our company and what are we as a company passionate about? And it's easy to say we're passionate about good service, high quality service, value service, and it's easy to say that we're passionate about these things, but do we do it or do we just talk it? We care about our clients. What does caring about our clients mean? Like, and connected into Life Masteries, there's so many resources that are available. So you can connect into Riverside Retreats. You can connect into Your Voice in My Headset. You can connect, which is about friendships. You can connect into Coffee Connection, which is about business. You can connect into Personality Masteries, which is about relationships and understanding and marriage and kids. And so it's like impacting people in every area of their life. It's just so cool. Like, we're not just an accounting firm. We're not just a bookkeeping firm. No, it's more than that. We're going to transform people's marriages. We're going to transform their relationship with their kids. We're going to transform, and that gets people excited. And yeah, we can have a lot of fun, like antiquing or coins or whatever you're interested in. Those things can all be connected back in to your economic engine, to what you do on a daily basis and the people you connect with. And it just makes like working fun. It's just exciting. So if you have any questions on anything we covered today, connect with the individual who invited you to participate in today's session, or you can call toll free 888-230-2300, outside the US 630-393-9909. And always remember, we can accomplish so much more together than we ever could on our own. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.